Just wrapped up the last run of the trip, little 5K. I'm officially at 102 days of consecutive running, minimum 5K a day. And this is by far the most consistent I've ever been with running, ever. And the whole reason why I started this marathon prep to go for sub 3 was to improve my endurance so I could plank for longer. And what ended up happening is I realized this goal I have, sub 3, sub 253, sub 255, I'm still like on the fence about what to actually aim for. I know I've said sub 253 many times, and that would be the A goal, but the B goal would be sub 255, and C goal would be sub 3. But regardless, what ended up happening was I realized this marathon prep is going to require everything I have, and I just have to dedicate all my attention to running for the time being, and then I can get back into planking after the marathon. But yeah, like I said, last run of the vacation, unreal weather. I'm really gonna miss it, but by far the best part about this trip was the people I stayed with. It was just phenomenal. They're just an amazing family, and I'm super grateful to be able to have spent time with them. So yeah, that wraps up 5K, and now it's off to the airport, go back home. Officially back in Ottawa, back to the cold weather. But yeah, that was the perfect vacation. Like I said, the people I stayed with were unbelievable. I couldn't have asked for any better, and it was the perfect length for a vacation. 1 week I think would have been a bit too short. 3 weeks probably too long. By the end of the trip I was itching to get back in the routine. But that second week, this past week, it was amazing. I haven't had a week like that in literally forever, in months. And for the first time in like a month and a half, my HRV on my watch is back to normal. It's back in the green. For the past month and a half, it was completely tanked into the red. And HRV is a measurement of the time between your heartbeats when you're sleeping. So if that number is super low, it means your heart's beating quicker, your body's in a constant state of fight or flight, and it's just not able to rest and recover as well when it's like that, as opposed to rest and digest, where you're not in a constant state of stress and you're recovering much better. And yeah, it's just really good to see that number back in the green. And yeah, obviously that, like, the reason why it was tanked, it was just due to overtraining and never getting a break. So yeah, that deload week was super beneficial for me. But like I said, I'm ready to get back into it. I got 3 big building weeks coming up. This past week I ran a total of 50K, and nothing crazy, obviously. This video is just me yapping essentially, but I'm committed to documenting this entire Road to 3 Hour Plank series. I'm going to document the good weeks, the bad weeks, the mediocre weeks. It's just part of the process at the end of the day. But it does feel good to be able to say I've ran over 100 days in a row now, minimum 5K. And what I've noticed by sticking to something for so long is you actually learn, like, you actually enjoy doing something you once hated. Because when I first started running, it's not fun when you're huffing and puffing and every run feels hard. But once you start to make progress and you just get better at it, it becomes a lot more enjoyable. And that applies to many things other than running. Even with planking, for example, I start to enjoy doing the plank, not all the time, but a lot of times I'm actually looking forward to it because I know I'm getting so much better. And when you're better at something, it definitely makes it more enjoyable. But yeah, at the end of the day, consistency and discipline, I would say the most important factors if you're trying to improve in anything over an extended period of time. And if you think you can just, of course, you can rest and listen to your body when you need rest, but there are going to be many days where you're just not going to want to do it. And it's important to discipline yourself and to go do that run or whatever it is you're trying to improve at. A discipline is huge, because if you think you can just go out and achieve every hard goal without having to go through some really, really hard days where you don't want to do it, you're just mistaken. And that's the whole point. Like, it's supposed to be hard. You're supposed to challenge yourself. And if it was easy, man, everyone would do it. And that achievement, it wouldn't mean anything ultimately. So stay consistent, stay disciplined, and the results will follow. Well, that wraps up the video. I know it was kind of a boring episode, but like I said, I'm documenting every single week. Doesn't matter how long it takes, 50 weeks, 100 weeks, cannot stop until I hit the goal.